But I got to the end and I was like, damn it, I guess I'm going to Thailand.
Watching footage of the film, I noticed that it has a very common trademark of your films.
Okay.
So, what was the most fun part of staying true to your creature feature basis, but translating them to this iconic franchise?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think one of the things I really like about creature features or monster movies is feeling the scale of the creature and putting the audience like in that situation. And so my background used to be visual effects, and there's a lot of little tricks you learn as you do it. And so one of the things I tend to try to do is always put like a human being in the shot. So you'll notice in some of the shots, you have a person and then the creature, because then your brain goes, well, I know a person is like this tall, so this T-Rex or this dinosaur must be like massive. And then you're trying to then, once you set a scale, you then try and do other shots, which then suddenly make it even bigger. Like, we learned that it was very good, especially with some of these dinosaurs, that they never quite fit in the frame, you know, that their heads kind of go out and things like this, and it always makes it feel like a much bigger animal.
You're working with someone who has already been on the franchise, which is David Cohen. Now you are new to this one, so how was it to work with someone who already knows this universe and this world?
Well, the honest truth is, the first person I met with was Frank Marshall, who's the producer, who did like Raiders of the Lost Ark and lots of Spielberg movies. And then he said, okay, tomorrow you have to meet Spielberg, which was very intimidating. You know, I was kind of like, one of your dream scenarios as a director is to meet, you know, he's my hero. And then when we finished that meeting, Spielberg said, if you thought this was bad, wait till you meet David, right? See if you can get any ideas past David. And so I was like, oh no, I wonder what David's like. And so I zoomed with David, and as soon as the Zoom starts, behind him in his office in New York is a poster of King Kong. And I was like, oh, you're a King Kong fan? And then suddenly we started talking about monster movies, and we just hit it off. And we realized that we both have very similar taste about what's a good film. And I think that's one of the most important aspects of working with a writer, is that you're both going to the same place. And so we have very similar taste. I got on with him so well. I didn't see much of him because it was all remote, but I feel like I made a filmmaking friend. It was amazing to work with such a great writer. It was fantastic.
Well, now you're not dealing with a park, but now it's out in the real world. So what was the biggest challenge of putting this world out in the open and these big sets?
One of the things, obviously, that's happened in the universe of Jurassic is that the creatures got out into the world. And so on the first page of the script, as I started reading it, they basically say, all those dinosaurs are dying out. They're struggling in modern climate, modern disease, and they're dying off. And only a few of them survive around the equator. And so essentially it was kind of like pressing a reset button and very easily like allowing us to then go back to that claustrophobic kind of adventure, sort of mysterious island kind of movie, which this film was. And it was like, to me, because David Koepp's a big Spielberg fan as well, it was like he had got a license to kind of do this love letter to Steven Spielberg. And it's the kind of movie that you would expect Steven to direct, but for whatever reason, he's very busy, and I got to do it. And so it was a dream come true. I didn't want to do another big film. I wanted to have a break after, you know, doing a few movies. And so I wanted to not like it. I wanted to read the script and go, oh, I'm sorry. It's really nice, it's really good, but I'm busy and I'm gonna take a break. But I got to the end and I was like, damn it.
Oh.
I guess I'm going to Thailand, you know?